Hey gang, Z-Man back here for another episode. Today we're going to review the Walthers Mainline GP9. This is a great locomotive. It's going to be in the next 3 episodes. The first episode is obviously the review we're doing today. The second episode will be how to add weight to this locomotive. I already have added weight to this, so I have to take it out so I can show you how this locomotive performs au naturel as you get it from the factory. So in that second episode, we'll be adding the weight back in. I'll show you how to do that, how to disassemble a locomotive, put the weight in, reassemble, and I'm going to show you the difference in pulling power. In episode 3, we'll show you, because I have 3 of these, how to do multiple unit operation with an NCE controller. All right, let's go watch a short locomotive history, and then we'll start reviewing the locomotive. See you then. Although a latecomer to the road switcher market after the American Locomotive Company invented the concept of a do-all road and switcher locomotive, Electromotive Division, better known as EMD, launched the GP7 in 1949. GP standing for General Purpose, their marketing name for road switchers compared to Alco, who call their road switchers RS. The GP7 was produced from October 1949 to May 1954 and proved highly successful in the market with 2,729 cab units and 5 cabless units called GP7B. However, with 1,500 horsepower coming from the EMD 567 16-cylinder engine, it proved useful, but EMD had to up their horsepower game because a horsepower war ensued with competing locomotive manufacturers Alco, Baldwin, and Fairbanks Morse. Enter the locomotive of our video, the GP9 in June 1954. This locomotive shared a similar body to the GP7, but now sported a new EMD 567C 16-cylinder diesel prime mover that powered 4 D37 traction motors, now with 250 additional horsepower, for a total of 1,750 horsepower with a roots-blown supercharger. Just to add more detail to the EMD engine, 567 means 567 cubic inches, with 9.3 liters per cylinder, and when added together, the total displacement totaled 9,080 cubic inches, or 148.8 liters in total size. Engine upgrades included the redesign of the engine crankcase to withstand greater daily service, replacement of the water seals susceptible to leaking on older model 567s, and an improved cooling circuit. These improvements, plus the additional 250 horsepower, coupled with the proven reliability of the GP7, resulted in a production hit. And EMD produced 4,092 cabbed A units and 165 cabless B units, with only 2 railroads owning the B units, 40 for the Pennsylvania and 125 for the Union Pacific. These locomotives were produced between June 1954 and December 1959, with the introduction of the GP18 that succeeded it. Although similar in appearance to the GP7, the GP9 has numerous external and internal differences. Among these differences are a shorter wheelbase on most GP9 units, including several later production GP7s, thinner frame, shorter fuel tank, different air tank air reservoir placements, taller, larger radiator fans, and dual control stands. Most GP9s were ordered with high noses, but the low nose became an option in late production. The first low-nose EMD diesel was a GP9 built for the Southern Pacific in 1959. Other options include dynamic brakes, steam generator located in the nose, and fuel tanks, of which several sizes are available and differ between road names. EMD's GP9 locomotives were reliable, easy to maintain, and efficient compared to the competition. They lived up to their name of general purpose, and they were, of course, mostly used in freight assignments. But they were also available with optional steam generators for passenger and express freight assignments. However, hundreds of GP9s remain in operation on short lines or in use in tourist railroads. In addition, others are preserved at various museums and historical societies. Here are some vital statistics before we move on to the model review. I added these locomotives to my collection back in November of 2023, and I originally bought two, but I was so impressed by these locomotives I bought a third one and renumbered it. So it is my philosophy to buy two of any diesel because you almost never see them alone and you always see them in multiple unit operation. I bought the third one to enhance my multiple unit operation, plus I scored them in a super sale for $148.67 a piece. Having three locomotives for the price of one expensive model seemed like an opportunity and value that was hard to refuse. These MSRP for $169.98 for DC and $214.98 for ESU Sound, but can be found for less on the Walthers site during sales and less than MSRP on other sites including eBay. I got my models with the ESU Sound. This sound chip is similar to Loc Sound version 5, but is reduced in the number of functions and sound files that it has, but it has the same basic sound files as a full Loc Sound 5 chip. The speakers are quite good, and they are loud, and you will see that in the sound portion of the video. The Walthers Mainline EMD GP9 is less detailed than the Proto series, but still has enough detail to stand on its own. However, there's a detailing kit that is available for these models, and I will be installing these later. These Mainline series locomotives continue to impress me and provide a significant value to the modeler. These models represent the Phase 2 high hood GP9s and come in several different road names and are almost continuously in production, so they're always available. There are short hood models that are available, as well as modified versions for more modern eras than how they were built originally. They are a must-have if you're a first-generation diesel modeler or if you run short lines. Outwardly similar to the earlier GP7 and sharing the same boxy body, these either come in high or short hood, and minor production changes in the number of placement louvers on the locomotives built from 1955 to 1957 result in what modelers and rail fans refer to as Phase 2 GP9s. Like its prototypes, many are still going strong today, and the Walthers Mainline Phase 2 high hood GP9 is a great Generation 1 diesel. These locomotives come in many different road names, too long to list. However, the road numbers are unique to each production run. They can either come in standard high hood, like this model, or in short hood. Go look on the website. This is based on as-built units produced from 1955 to 1957, the Phase 2. Scale width hood with correct contours. And they either come with dynamic brakes or without dynamic brakes. This one does have the dynamic brakes. They also come in front and rear footboards, or front plow, and a flat rear pilot is appropriate. While this is a mainline series, it shares the same powerful drive as the Walthers Proto, featuring 5-pole skew wound motor, 14:1 gear ratio, helical cut gears for quiet operation and easy multiple unit operation, all-wheel drive electrical pickup, and machine brass flywheel. This one sports a heavy die-cast frame on a plastic body. They also have constant warm LED headlights, which are directional, correct RP25 metal wheels. The DC models will come with a 21 DCC plug, and they are DCC ready. However, I ordered mine with ESU Sound. There's also molded drill starter points if you decide to do the add-on kit for further detail. The paint is excellent on these models and will vary by road name. The models also have different fuel tanks, horns, hood sizes, and dynamic brakes depending on the prototype based on the road name. This model weighs in at 13.6 ounces or 385.5 grams. The length of the model is the correct 56 feet or 17.11 meters long. I have taken out weight that I added to this locomotive so I can demonstrate the original pulling power from the factory. I added 1.3 ounces or 36.85 grams of weight to guarantee the pulling power up hidden grades, planned grades, as well as the helix in a future layout. Next episode, I will demonstrate how to add weight to a model locomotive to show you the increase of pulling power I got by just adding a little bit of weight in a Modeler's Corner episode. Well, with the details complete, let's get this model onto the Tinaberg test track for sound, pulling, and speed tests. So here are my final thoughts about the Walthers Mainline EMD GP9. This is a value locomotive. For the price that I got these at, I can't complain. The only thing that I can complain about is the box, which could be better, and then also a little bit on the pulling power. I just want them to pull more, and that'll be our next episode, which is adding weight to these locomotives. So I will show you how to do that. This is a tight space to add weight, but when you do, the benefit is great. The only other thing is, yeah, it goes beyond prototypical speed, but that's fine. You can just go on your controller and go to speed step 19, and you'll hit a maximum speed. I actually like running these slower, as you see. So let me leave you off with a couple of coal train scenes.